do it. If you can stick to times, it will serve you better. If anyone's in this and they don't come out, at least have learned something, you're a fool. You're an absolute fool. Because we always say, oh, I've never got no time to do this, I've never got no time to do that. You have now. All right, you haven't got time to go to the gym, you haven't got time to visit loved ones. My son lives literally less than a quarter of a mile away from here, and I haven't seen him. I've seen him on FaceTime, of course, and you've seen him on the Zoom, etc. I've seen him on that. But these sacrifices that we all have to make, and it's arduous times that build character. So recently, I've been reading a book by Sugar Ray Leonard. It's called The Big Fight. And Sugar Ray Leonard was a 5-time world champion who was absolute idolized him. Put it one way, don't tell anyone about this either. I watched Sugar Ray Leonard that much that I had a dream that I worked for him. So that was a bit weird. When he fought Marvin Hagler, I knew every single word of the commentary, etc. And commentating is what I do as well. But anyway, that's by the by. Sugar Ray Leonard was in arduous times and made him a champion. This arduous time can make you a champion in what you choose to be. I don't care if you want to be a fighter. It doesn't matter to me. Fighting's great, and I respect it. But there's so much other avenues you can use this or go down by using this time correctly. It's all about your mindset. Because if you look for things, you'll find them. So I deem it like this. This is like your mind, yeah? This is called your reticular activator. Basically, it's your unconscious mind. Now, if you're searching for something that will be unpleasant, you'll find it, okay? People are searching for conspiracy theories. I'm not a big lover of conspiracy theories. I don't mock anyone for believing them. Whatever floats your boat, I just believe. Get your head down, get on with it, shut your mouth, get on with it. I'm not an expert. I'm certainly not a scientist or a professor or a doctor or a nurse who I massively admire. Get your head down, get on with it, and get out of it. That's the thing. But this will look... So, for instance, if you're looking for... You wake up in your day and you start your day like with no routine. And then you go, you watch the news, and you'll find something, you see something, and you'll go, oh my God, this is going to be awful, blah, 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 blah. And then you calm down a bit. It'll keep searching all the time. The unconscious mind, or our minds, will keep searching. So when it sees something that's anxious, because people suffer from anxiety, especially in this time, bang, it reacts. And it becomes this awful feeling, oh my God, this is going to be terrible, and blah, 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 blah. And then you calm yourself down. Someone tells you something, you speak to your friend or whoever, one of your colleagues, you got to talk to on Skype, whatever, or your family, and then it calms down again. And then it's always searching. It's what you put in here that will denote what the rest of your life is. And I really have to be stringent. I'm a good friend of Liam Harrison, who's an 8-time world champion, and Liam Harrison's learned to cook. He couldn't cook before, and he made a cheesecake. And all, I mean, no, there's no cooking involved in the cheesecake because I used to be a chef. But anyway, nevertheless, it is learning something that you can't do. Even if you're learning, honestly, that sounds weird, but even if you're learning to juggle, because with your neurons firing in a different way, it's going to send you in a different direction where you're going to be expanding your awareness. We all should be doing it. I'm all for training the mind. It's all right going for a run and then coming back and then still feeling the same half an hour later. Not like physically because you're tired, but your mindset. So what I suggest is getting a routine. I can't stress that enough. It's the most important thing. Everybody is feeling anxious in this time. No, if anyone says, oh, I'm all right, I'm not bothered, you're lying. Because everyone has seen so part of the news where you would have reacted. When it first kicked off, this COVID-19, I was one of the first people to get over precautious, I'd say, yeah, and like overly so, like every WhatsApp I got where the military would come, the military are going to take over, we're going to be, and honestly, I got took away with that, and it caused me a few problems and a few sort of untoward arguments on Facebook, let's say that. But nevertheless, now that I've learned that, I thought, right, hang on a minute, I got hold of myself, calm this down, this reticular activator, then you move forwards, So I want to talk today specifically about something I've been learning recently called black box thinking. When aviation first started, out of everything that we travel by, aviation is, except for space travel, of course, but it still takes aviation to go in the air, doesn't it, of course? Aviation is probably the most far removed from what we can do, because we can run, so we can move, we can swim, so we can travel, but flying we can't do. Laws of gravity, we haven't got wings, blah blah blah. So aviation was very, very a dangerous thing to do, and just understandably so. What happened in aviation is when the Wright brothers, the first two people to fly, after there was a series of people making planes, wanting to be pilots, wanting to experience this. Well, it's a wonderful experience. Because when you first go on a plane, it's an amazing experience. I've been on lots of planes. It's a little bit boring now. I'm not trying to be ungrateful, but it is. There you go. And these planes were so often crashed that what people did was they started to learn very quickly, right? So they looked at things and thought, hang on a minute, it crashed. What can we learn from it? Oh, this wing was too big. This thing was too heavy, etc., etc. And it's gone on through however long time, the length of time it has been flying. They've gone all the way through that and meticulously looked at the mistakes and gone rectified them. So now there is 800 million takeoffs and landings a year. Only 0.26, don't quote me, but it's very low. I think it's 0.26. There is crashes. 0.26. So you can, well, what does that mean? So black box thinking is, a black box on a plane is orange. It's not black, because let's face it, if a plane crashes, God forbid, touch wood and all that sort of business, when a plane crashes, they wouldn't find it if it was black, would they? So, and they find this orange box, and then they take all the information from the computers, the pilot, what the co-pilot, the pilot said, and everything like that is recorded. So even then, if it's happened, they can find out what's gone on. Now, 0.26% is very, very low indeed. The point is that if you could look at your life, and this is a metaphor, which means a learning story, if you could look at your life and stand at the wreckage of your life and go, what did I do wrong? What mistakes did I make? While you're doing, this is what I want you to do for homework, by the way, so I just thought I'd leave you with something, yeah? Is when you do that, you ask yourself questions and go, hang on a minute, what am I doing that I keep repeating in my life and not getting me where I want to get to safely? It makes sense, doesn't it? Because if you're looking at your life and you go, look, I'm not going to lie, like, there's no point, because they'll be lying to me, of course. But it's what you think, right, hang on, what am I not tweaking? It's little tweaks that make a difference. If you've got a washing machine, and I'm sure you have, and you put a white wash on, if you throw a red sock in it, everything goes pink, right? That is because one little thing can spoil everything. And it's these little incremental steps that we take, that we have to take on to make the differences that make a difference. Do you understand? So this is about having a routine. I'm not saying turn into robots. I'm not saying not have no fun. I'm all for fun. Of course I am, but not too much fun, by the way. wife will let me. It's all about having little bits in your life of what you're going to tweak. So it's like being at a post-mortem is, if anyone doesn't know, I'm sure you do, but I'll have to explain it. Some people might not. A post-mortem is when somebody has died and then they have to do the autopsy to see what went wrong with them. You can have a pre-mortem, so you can stop what can go on in the future right now by learning the things you have to learn. We're locked down, I get it. It's rubbish, I get it. I know, blah, blah. We can say, oh, yeah, and this and that. I get that. I totally get you, right? But there's so much information out there that's correct that can make differences to you, that can change your life, that can even if you learn to bake, juggle, I don't care, paint, I don't care. As long as you're learning something to make you a better person or to make you feel better about being you. I don't want to learn to say, I don't know, roller skate around the garden, whatever. It's just something that you want to do that you're not doing, that you pretend that you've got no time for, and now you have. Does that make sense? Cliff, that makes sense, yeah? Okay, good. So it's about you putting things together to get you where you want to get where you want to get. And what gets in our way is us. Now, what's been happening recently, I've not told anyone this. This is just my new stuff. I've not told anyone this. There's a thing called cognitive dissonance. I'm barely with long words. It's not something I know. No, so I made it up. It's nothing to do with me. I just read it, but I want to reiterate it to you. Cognitive dissonance means that no matter what you say to somebody, if they've got a core belief, they are not going to change it, right? Even if you presented them with the argument, with all the correct details, like you said, this is definitely a dog in sunglasses with a pink dressing gown on. They'd go, right, yeah, oh, yeah. Then they'd say, well, still don't believe it. Because if you're going round in circles with cognitive dissonance with people, for instance, this is how it started out. It was to do with a psychologist who infiltrated a religious group, this lady that was, let's say, a little bit different, saying that the earth was going to get flooded, like in the Old Testament. The earth's going to get flooded. God's really angry with us. It's going to get flooded, but I've been in contact with some aliens, and on this date in 1954 at 12 a.m. in the morning, they're going to come and pick us up, take us off the planet, look after us, and the planet's going to get flooded and everyone's going to die. So these people went, oh, right, okay, I'm in. So this psychologist infiltrated this group, got with all these people that wanted to go to Nirvana or whatever the aliens were going to take him, sat there, and of course it didn't happen, right? Didn't happen. Nothing happened. So all these people that were in this cult were very, very upset, justifiably. Oh, yeah, well, this didn't happen. Oh, well, it's a shame. And the woman said, wait, it is because that God has decided to give us another chance, and the aliens have spoken to him, and now there's a camaraderie between God and the aliens. That's amazing. And they still believed it. They still believed it. They still believed that aliens were there, that God was going to flood the earth, blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm not treading on anybody's religious beliefs or any way, shape, or form, okay? But what I'm saying is, which is interesting, is people won't change their core beliefs or will not change something. Now, there's two things if you believe something so strongly that you want to get fit, healthy, and strong and be happy, good. I admire that. But you've also got to look outside your little box and think, maybe I don't know everything. Or maybe and take on some things that can make you feel better. And this is where it comes in, that having a routine and breaking these little habits. Because once you've got a more expanded awareness, you're going to be more intelligent. Now, everybody wants to be more intelligent. Everybody. The most famous portrayed character in TV, films, and most written in novels and comics, etc., is Sherlock Holmes. He's the most portrayed character in any text ever, and TV and movies and whatever, okay? Sherlock Holmes. Why? Because Sherlock Holmes resonates with an intelligence that we all admire. We all admire it. It's something about it. Now, not everyone's going to love Sherlock Holmes, but it just shows the general consensus that Sherlock Holmes has this almost like eerie, mystical way of working things out. Be your own Sherlock Holmes. Be your own. Start getting things and working things out for yourself and moving through and getting where you want to get to. Yes, Cliff, you going to say something?
Yeah, I've got one question. I'm going to play devil's advocate here, Vinny, right?
Okay.
So there's a lot of us here that been working 9 to 5. Everything's structured for us. I've got to go to work. Then I've got to rush back, go to the gym. I'm chasing my tail all the time.
Yeah.
Now, COVID, I don't have to do anything. I can sit at home and do Sweet Fanny Adam.
Yeah.
And, that kind of creeps in. What's wrong with that? Why can't I take time off life? Why are you telling me to get a routine?
Because it's all right for 2 weeks. Everyone's all right for 2 weeks. Oh yeah, it's all right. If you look at the way it went, when it first started, everyone was like, "Hey, pictures of and the hilarious people went, look, a bottle of Corona." I'm such a laugh, right? It didn't bother me, and a pack of Corona. Then when it started to get more and more into in time, and it became more serious, and it became more, this is really happening in the thousands of people, and the death toll went up. Worry started setting in, then money worry started setting in, then not seeing other people being segregated set in, and then it pulls us away. It's almost like deprivation in some ways, because you know, you wasn't stimulated by the things that you normally stimulated. So you have to find something else. If you don't, you just, it's like, you got me going now. You shouldn't have done this.
I knew I would.
Fault. It's your fault. What really annoys me is people when they say, all I've done is eat. Well, it's not Christmas. It's not Christmas. Or it's not whatever religious festival you celebrate. It's not Christmas. If a Catholic, Christian background, it's not Christmas. So people are going, oh yeah, well, I can't stop eating. Really? Honestly, you can't stop eating. Okay. We're in a time, it's arduous. I get it. But you need a routine. Because work was a routine. So when you was going to work 9 to 5, that was a routine. And you can say, yeah, I understand, 2 weeks, yay. Then you're like, right, I'm missing the gym. I'm missing this, I'm missing that. I'll get up a little bit later. And that's where rot steps in. I'll get up a little bit later. I'll eat my dinner earlier. I won't do my intermittent fasting. I won't do this. I won't do that. I can have a glass of wine at, I don't know, for 7 o'clock in the morning. Whatever. Do you understand?
Doesn't that become a routine though? Then if you say, well, I'll have my little nip of wine every 7 o'clock every evening. I go and get that.
Yes, it can become a routine, but it doesn't mean to say it's going to be a positive one.
So how do you set out a positive routine? Is there a map or is there a function that we would work to as regards saying, right, this is what I want to do and this is how I want to achieve things? This
is what's very interesting about my job, Cliff. It's about the individual. It's the individual. What do you want? Most people don't know. Most people don't know what they want. They say, oh, and then they just start downplay it. But yet, when they come and see me, when I see clients on FaceTime, when I see clients at my office when it was open, when it will be open again, of course, I get them, and the first thing I ask them is, what do you want? And they talk about what they don't want, because everyone in that state, because it is a state, they talk about what they don't want. No, I don't want this. And I say, okay. You know, they don't always talk like that. Just standing up for comic effect. And then you say to them, what do you want? And then the blank look of mystery comes over them. Yeah, well, I don't want to feel like that. I said, I didn't say that. I know you've told me, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And that's my job, and of course. But what do you want? You see, what happens is this. Because your reticular activator is looking at what you don't want. So you're spending more time this way in what you don't want. When you're not talking about what you do want, or not moving towards what you do want. We have to break free of these constraints, of thought process, of limits that we have within our unconscious. And we have to do that via action. So when you're setting a routine, you're already, come on, how many said, right, new year, new me? Millions all over the world. That's why David Lloyd and these big, huge gyms exist, because in January, everyone's had too much to drink, too much to eat, laid up, been to all the works parties, etc. You know, fell asleep watching Goldfinger, whatever. And then all of a sudden, right, new year, new me. That's me now. I'm going to be blah, blah, blah. And then it dwindles very quickly. Not for everyone, because I'm sure that the people that are your wonderful gym are involved in your gym, they're motivated people, right? But it's all about building and getting a routine. And it starts in the morning. So I'm a big fan of Wim Hof. I've been to his house, and I'm not name dropping. I've only been on Joe Rogan. How many times have I been on? Only joking. But I'm a big fan of Wim Hof. And I do the Wim Hof breathing in the morning. Wim Hof, you can find him on an app. You can get an app for free at the minute, and you can Google him. It's W-I-M.
I can drop it in now. We actually do it every Wednesday on our online classes for free.
Awesome.
There we go.
You. Yeah, well, there you go. And this is
good plug for us, Vinny.
If you resonate with that, yeah? So I do that every morning, or cold showers, and I put myself in an uncomfortable position, right? No one likes cold showers. I don't care who you are. Yes, you tolerate them, but they're not nice. You don't go in and go, yeah, cat. You go, you stood there. I don't know why I'm talking about myself here, but I'm always stood on the edge. Going, oh God, how do I do this to myself? And then once I'm in there, I'm okay, right? But arduous times build character. Now, this is forced upon us. This time is forced upon us because we have to comply with what's going on, regardless of what you believe, who or when or what started it. I don't really care, to be honest. All I want to do is get out of it, right? And you get out of it by adhering to the rules. I just I will adhere to the rules because I'm not an expert on anything like that. But it's just about putting things, surviving these arduous times will make you so much better. That will make you so much better. I bet crime has dropped a hell of a lot. I bet all sorts of things have dropped a hell of a lot. And I bet there will be, even though it's not good and people are losing lives, and I'm not being anyway unkind, that something has to come out of this that's positive. And it has to be positive for you. You have to make it positive. You can't just sit back and let things, you can, of course you can. It's always a choice. When you sit back, let things go on, fine. But if you want to improve, here's the thing. You give yourself no choice. You give yourself no choice whatsoever. All right? So you say, this is what I'm going to do, and I have no choice. Because the unconscious mind likes the path of least resistance. That's why we're top of the food chain. Although if you looked on Facebook and you see some of the things that people write, you think we shouldn't be at the top of the food chain. But anyway, nevertheless, bless them. So we're at the top of the food chain. So, but we like the path of least resistance. And the path of least resistance is it'll find the easiest way, but it doesn't mean to say it's the right way. So at first, yes, you were correct. Well, why should we? Right, good. And then after 2 weeks, get bored. It's like you're on holiday for 2 weeks and then you think, I like it. Oh, it's a lovely place, but I can't wait to get in my own bed. True enough, isn't it? No, it's nowhere as nice as your own bed. So we get a little bit then we can get lazy and complacent and stuff like that. The more you prepare now for learning something that's new, whether it's a language or whatever, and then when you go out, you've done something with the time that's been pushed on you. That's my belief. That's what I believe.
I've kind of noticed, Vinny, that when we first went to COVID, everybody I think they actually came in with your mindset. I'm going to get fit during this. I've got all this opportunity. And I saw the online classes, lots and lots of people turning up for it.
Yeah.
6 weeks down the line, the numbers are dropping.
Yeah.
Now, it could be people have just found other ways to exercise. But I suspect people kind of losing their ways, having that increased that stamina. Is there any tricks to maintain that stamina of thought and determination to get somewhere? Because
you treat training as your job. I'm 50 years of age. I need a hip replacement, and I really, really want it. And no one wanted a hip replacement more than me. But I have no choice. Training, I have to do it. Every single morning I train. It's not one of my days off, of course, but every single morning I train. I'm not the greatest. I'm not the best at anything, but I train because I have to. And you make it no choice. You can't have a choice. If you want to be a success, you can't have choices. You know what? What we suffer from, mainly in this day and age, I'll tell you, is luxury problems. We have luxury problems. Anxiety, mainly, is a luxury problem. It's, oh, well, I'm worried about this. Are you worried about, well, you've got a house? Well, yeah. And like, oh, I'm having an awful time. I understand that. I understand people have awful times mentally. But we've got internet. We've got, you know, we're in a very, very blessed position. But we forget that. You know, we forget that. We forget that you learned to swim. You couldn't swim once. You couldn't walk once. You couldn't tie your laces once. You couldn't do a lot of things once. We tend to just, we bat things away because, but that was years ago. It's easy, blah, blah, blah. Everything once was an enigma. Everything once was very, very difficult. Now, what we do as we get older, we can give up on things because it's a luxury thing. I don't need to. I surely know you don't need to learn to juggle. You don't need to learn to paint. But what improvements do you want to make? So you're saying, so when you get a mindset of excitement, like a childlike mentality, or when you first see Muay Thai, or you see, you know, any sport, well, you're Muay Thai because you're Muay Thai based, and then you see Muay Thai and you think, wow, that really gets you going. That's when you start opening this mind where your mind's like, wow, I want to do that, you know? And then everything that you see that's positive is bang, I want to do that. So it's just about expanding your awareness and just about saying, look, forcing yourself to do something. People will drop off, but everyone can't be a champion. I went to a seminar. This is a true story. I went to a seminar in Scotland, and I went in. One of the first things I said was, not all of you will be champions. Not all of you will. And the coach rang me the next day and he said, yeah, they liked it, eh? I'll do the accent. He said, hey, they liked it, eh? But you know, when you said they can't all be champions, they didn't like it. And I was like, what do you want me to say? You're all going to be champions. You're all going to live forever. You're all going to roller skate to the moon. I've got to think about roller skates there, haven't I? No, you're not. It's not going to happen because some of you won't have the dedication, the determination, and the absolute will to go, that's where I want to go. And this is where you tweak it. You tweak it by routine. You tweak it by moving things out your way, and you tweak it by learning things that you can't do. So or the book you haven't read. I'm a fan of a guy called Jim Quick, and he says self-help becomes shelf-help because no one finishes the books. Everyone's got books on their shelves. And have you read that? No. Well, we got halfway through it. We lose that determination because we've got so much stimulus outside us that's going on. But now we haven't. We've got more time if you make it. Yes, we've got.
How do you create that focus? How do you create that stamina of will? Like I said, people come in, they want to do it, and you say we get
choice.
Something. It's a choice.
It's choice.
But you said we shouldn't have any choice. We shouldn't give ourselves a choice,
no,
right? Almost.
You just say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to learn to, I don't know, cook chicken jalfrezi. If anyone makes one, I'll sound like I love chicken jalfrezi. But it's like, you know, make it your thing to say, right, I'm doing that. Even if it's 20 minutes a day, if it's 15 minutes a day, doesn't matter. You're learning something. Your mind has to be stimulated because the news at the moment is bleak, right? It's very bleak, you know, and it's you have to watch it because you have to keep up to date, and it depends what type of person you are. But most of the majority of the time is you don't watch the news and think, I'm looking forward to that, because when you see people and then it goes on and you see people's lives being taken away, livelihoods and all that, and I'm very, 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 very sad, and I'll have a lot of PTSD after this lockdown with my clients anyway, right? But it's about saying, right, okay, I'm here. Here's my character. I've got to build it. You've got to make choice. I'm me. The reason why I do the things that I do is because I'm disciplined, and you guys are disciplined too. You know, do intermittent fasting. You know, if you want, right? But I do just because I like to test myself. Because otherwise, if you don't tell your mind no, how do you control it then? If you just let your mind go, yeah, everything that's hard, yeah, give up, blah. Who are you? What are you? Because you know what's interesting? In every single person that's watching this, that's taking part, or will see it, every single one of you has the DNA of a warrior. We all have it. It's intrinsic in us. We've survived wars, famines, plagues, you name it. Whatever's been bombarded on the earth and been done by us or done to us, we've survived it because you're evidence, because you're here. Your DNA has carried on. Your genetics have carried on. You know, your generations and generations ago, it's just more difficult. Now, I understand it's not pleasant. Of course I do. But what do? Do we just sit and get defeated and sit there and go, oh, well, what's going to happen? Look out the window. No. We either put up or shut up. And if you're putting up, you can say what you want, because at least at the end of the day, you're doing something about it. You know? Nothing will change unless you do something. There's no magic pill. There's no sort of hypnosis. A lot of people, because I'm a hypnotherapist as well, and the hypnotherapy works for a lot of brilliant things, yeah? Who's that? Well, hypnotize to have more discipline. No, I refuse to do that. Honestly, it's true. Sorry. I refuse to do it. I could make money doing it. Don't want to. Because if you can't motivate yourself to be disciplined, it's your fault. And I'm not talking about eating disorders and stuff like that. I'm talking about, I just need to be more disciplined. Right, okay. That's easy. Ta-ra. You know? Because it's about now pushing ourselves when the only person that can push us is really us. It's not me. I hope that it helps people to expand their awareness, or they want to move on. What I will do also, I will send you, Cliff, an anti-anxiety hypnosis download for everyone from the Diesel Gym and everyone else that wants it, and they can get it off you. Okay, that's my present to you.
Oh,
But
that's
do
superb. Thanks,
something.
Vinny.
No problem. No problem. I'm a people person. I love people, right? But I'm also a realist. If you don't want to do something, you won't. And it's cognitive dissonance. You'll defend it. Oh, the reason why I couldn't do it is because, oh, no, well, I will, blah, blah, blah. And they'll defend it. You'll defend it and defend it. And I could prove you wrong, or hopefully with facts and figures and this, and this, and you'll still go, well, I still don't believe it.
Yeah.
Your choice. You know? It's your choice.
One of these things on a personal level, I think I can have will and I want to do it and I try it. It's not as easy as I thought it would be. And then sometimes self-doubt gets in the way, and it's the self-doubt that beats the will. And when self-doubt gets there, is there tools or tricks that you, or is it just, again, you got to be just more willful to get over that self-doubt and know that you can? Or is it realism?
Self-doubt will never beat will.
Yeah.
Impossible. Because will's intrinsic in us. Self-doubt isn't. Because when you was a child, you learned to walk, you fell over, you smacked your head, you was all over the show, your feet was crossed, you'd bang your head, you know, you'd get up, but you try and climb up when he wasn't there. That's will. Self-doubt is learned behavior. Do I have self-doubt? Of course I do. Of course I do. But it's about overriding it. And it's overriding it to a level of, when we become adults, we become a bit more doubtful. We see danger in things. We see more perceived danger. Sometimes we're right, of course. You run across the road in the middle of the motorway. It's obviously dangerous. But it's like we see more perceived danger that we put in our mindset. And then we have excuses and reasons. And then we have cognitive dissonance. So we say, well, that was the reason. Well, like I said, and I tried. Immediately you gave it away, my brother, is when you said try. You either do or you don't. Yoda said it in Empire Strikes Back, do or do not, there is no try. I don't like quoting people, but it's very true. He's like, so you're either going to do it or you don't. Yes, it's going to be difficult, right? Good. It's going to be hard, right? Yes. It's not going to be easy. No, it's not going to be easy. But are you going to, right? Oh, well, it's not going to be easy. Well, what do you want then? What is easy? Everything that's comfortable is easy. No one has grown in a comfortable position. BJJ demonstrates that. There is a very uncomfortable position. I believe I've never done it in BJJ, and these very uncomfortable positions, but they can always be overcome with that and with the knowledge and the teaching, and of course the number one, which is will and intention. So it's a choice. Everything that you do now, beyond this and beyond, is down to you. Yes, there are going to be things that are going to come up in your life. Yes, there are going to be bumpy times. Yes, people are going to die. I get it. Yes, it's going to be upsetting. Of course, sadly, that's just life. But life is something that happens to us. It does. Yeah. But in times like this, we have to find within us what our ancestors had anyway. You've all got it. Every single one of you watching this, listening to this, have it. Use it. It's fine.
Okay, so I just want to open it up to everybody else. You've heard that us kickstart this stuff. Has anyone got any sort of questions or want to lead on from this? Just put a thumbs up or thumbs up in the screen, and I'll be able to see your thumbs up on the reaction button. Here we go. Arnie wouldn't let us down. All right, Arnis.
Hey, Vinny.
Hi, mate. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Basically, I was reading this book about building good habits. It's called Atomic Habits, something like that. And as well, what the author sort of picked up on that as well, it plays in with your choice. So make the bad habits really hard and make the good habits easy. So, you know, for example, if you tend to overeat cookies, then, you know, don't buy the cookies, don't even bring them home.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're in a shop, then, you know, don't even go into that section of the shop. So does that make sense for you, or?
Yeah, I think it's making difficult. It depends on mood and state and how you feel about, and it all depends on what the bad habit is, of course. I mean, we're talking about habits that are, that can be like not addictions. Yeah, there's a big difference. For me, it's about really being the commander of your own life, of saying this is not a choice. At the minute, I can't come round and see you, right? I can't come down to London or wherever you are, have a beer with you and go, let's go. We can't. So you take choices away. So you say to yourself, what do you want? I've got to do that. Then that's what you've got to do. We can mince around it and give ourselves reasons. Oh, because blah, blah. We haven't got a choice. So while you haven't got a choice of being able to come down and see you, of course, which would be very, very nice, I'm sure. It's like when we haven't got that choice, then, right, okay, choices are taken away. So take some more choices away that could stop you from being where you want to get to. So I don't know the author. I'm sorry, I haven't read the book. He probably has some good points. I don't know. I wouldn't particularly do that, but it all depends on habits, all depends on how deep and what the habits and the driver of the emotion and the addiction is.
Okay, any other questions from anybody? Sammy, let's unmute. Yeah. Oh, have I done it? No. What's going on here? It's not. There you go, Sammy. Here we go. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you fine, sir.
Fantastic. Hi, Vinny.
Hi, mate.
Big fan. Watched,
Thank you.
I think, all of your Joe Rogans. I've got two. Firstly, with regards to injuries of athletes, right. I don't know how you work with some of your athletes. I just kind of wanted to get your perspective on keeping your mind right whilst you're injured and kind of keeping focused on things and staying in that positive mindset, can-do mindset. Because at the moment, I'm currently pulled my hamstring, which is, especially in the lockdown, it's like the only thing keeping me sane.
I was wondering what happened to you the last couple of weeks. I was putting you down to someone getting distracted. It's the hamstring.
No. I've been watching most of the recordings, but just mainly to pick up tips. But no. I pulled my hamstring. Kind of want to see how you would tackle keeping a positive mindset and keeping that kind of, I don't know, like just, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, totally understand what you mean. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you're going to throw your arms and legs around and fight and do stuff like that and kick pads and kick other people, you are going to get injured.
Yeah.
That's life, that's life. It's all about it either limiting you. Look, you get injured, right? I need a hip replacement, but I still train. I'm 50 years of age, you're not. Well, you don't. If you do, you look it. You don't look it. But look, what do? You can either, I've got an injury, right? Yeah, I'm injured. Okay, yeah. But what else can you do? There's loads of other things you can do.
Yeah.
So it's not about we limit ourselves. See, we can we just sit. Oh, I'm injured, right? Oh, come on, pass us some biscuits. You know what I mean? Or it's about, right, okay, I'm injured. I get that. Get on with it. Okay. Or find a way around it. Or Muay Thai, it's the art of 8 limbs. Yeah. You've got another 6, I believe.
I almost liken it, Sammy, to, when you're training now, when you can't go to the gym, you're almost getting yourself ready to go to the gym.
Yeah.
When you're injured, you should be mentally getting yourself ready to be training when your injury's gone, right? So you don't hit the cookie jar. You're making sure that your weight's still on spot. Yeah. So when you do come back,
I've actually been doing that as well, just trying to, because it's the easiest time to gain your weight and get worse, right?
Honestly, I can talk candidly to everybody that's watching this. If you don't come out of this a better person, I've learned something, you're stupid. You're stupid. And if you just sat and go, no, well, because no one cares. When you come out and you put on, I don't know, 3 stone, and you go, I'll put 3 stone on because what it was, I got bored. Right? No one cares. Everybody will be like running past, and no one's going to stop and go, come on, I'll come running. I'll stop running. No. We have to, it's even more finite, condensed discipline while we're in this.
Yeah.
While we're in this. My wife writes a list every day, because my wife's a key worker, she's a teacher, and she writes lists on the board or whatever. I do them every day. She writes house work lists. You know, if you just said your wife's going to write lists for you and you're going to do them, I'd go, no, I'm not going to do it. I mean, they're not going to cross this. She's a lovely lady. But I do them because it's part of discipline to get us where we want to get. Anyone that's successful had discipline. Anyone. You know, everybody has had discipline. If you haven't got that, learn it. And by first thing you do is get a routine. To answer your question.
Yeah, the second question, Sammy.
Completely. Yeah, the second question was during lockdown, I kind of reread and re-listened to the David Goggins "Can't Hurt Me."
Right.
I don't know if you're like used to it or if but just wanted to kind of get your take on it and understand, you know, those core fundamentals of, say, like the accountability mirror, where you're taking into account of yourself and making sure you're accountable for your actions. Things like taking souls, callousing the mind, you know, those kind of core fundamentals and principles of the book. Like, just wanted to kind of get your general take on it and see if you had any spin or anything else towards
my opinion of David Goggins is a fantastic human being. Would I want to run 50 miles? No. I don't need to prove a point. I don't see the point. And now David Goggins is fighting his own internal battles, I believe. Yeah. Right? Yeah, you can tell that when reading the book, and it's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. And for motivation and for accountability, I'm all for that. Would I want to run 70 miles? No. And even if I could run 70 miles, which I can't, I still wouldn't want to. But it's applying the accountability has kind of been what I've been saying. Is like, you haven't got to. You asked me to come in, and this is what I tell my clients is, you haven't got a choice. If you give yourself no choice, the only choice you've got is what you've got to do. But there's such joy in it, and there's such, you know, pats on the back, so to speak. We don't pat ourselves on the back very often. We more than often not pull ourselves apart. You're injured, and then your injury becomes something about you being not this or that. I get that, man. I totally feel you, yeah? Because I've got a hip injury. And then it does make you feel less of a person, because I used to fly around in the air with Trevi Master Scanner, do all those splits, blah, blah, blah. And then it does take something off you. But then you have to get hold of yourself and go, wait a minute, I understand it's a little self-pity and stuff. But then you have to go, right, I get it, but you're a young guy, right? My hip operation will happen, right? You're a young man, it'll go. But what are you doing in the meantime to assist yourself in improving your capabilities of the sport that you love so dearly? Do you know what I mean? To answer your question about David Goggins, I think he's fantastic, but he's very extreme. But if that's how he had to be a soldier, but I do believe that he's fighting his own internal battle. It echoes to me that, and everyone that I've mentioned that to say, yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's fantastic. But he's very extreme, but it works for him. So yeah, fair play.
Great question, Sammy.
Anything else? I just summarize on that. Yeah. No. So in essence, what you're trying to say is take what David Goggins, the core principles are, but apply them into your own life and your own training, etc. But maybe not to the extremes that he's probably gone to, because he's a bit savage.
Again, what's your name again, mate?
Sammy.
Yeah. The thing is, Sammy, right? No. If you want to do 70 miles like David Goggins does, great.
Yeah.
Fine. Absolutely fantastic. It's up to you. I'm saying that you've got a choice, and use your choice as well. We've got a thing going on now that's unprecedented, that's never been experienced by any of us ever. And even the Spanish flu, and I'm not old enough for that. It might look it. But it's just about us now condensing our will and intention and going, right, it's what I want to do, right? And putting that time together. Even, you know, what's interesting about reading, if you give yourself half an hour of reading a book, what you'll find is not only that half an hour will be more constructive with what you're reading, you'll also have an urge to read more. Instead of like, imagine, who's read a book and gone, I've read that page. Or you go back and read it again. You go, I've read that. It's because your mind's all over you. So you go, right, okay, I'm having half an hour to read this for half an hour. And then you'll find yourself itching to read more. That is when showing your mind, because your unconscious mind continually seeks more and more. It does. It continually seeks more and more. So you train it by going, right, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to read this book. And then, or whatever you're going to do for half an hour. And then leave it. And then it'll
Is that
build
what
the
happens when you think you're bored, Vinny? So it's like sometimes I'm sitting here and then I'll go to my phone and see what's going on Instagram because my unconscious mind is just looking to find something, right?
It's that.
To trigger a boredom.
It wants something all the time. It's unquenchable. Unquenchable. That's not a word. Unquenchable thirst. It's always wanting something. Yeah. So feed it. Feed it with stuff that it wants to have. Read something where something inspires you. Whoever. Read someone that's gone through a harder time. There's a great book by Viktor Frankl called Man's Search for Meaning about when he was in Auschwitz. And it's absolutely horrific. What he went through is incredible. But it's like it resonates with us at a level that says, things aren't not really that bad. Unless it is for people. It is very difficult for some people. I'm very blessed. It's not. But it's like, it's about us just filling our minds and filling our time with stuff that make us better people, make us better in life.
Fantastic. Guys, any more questions? Come on, fire away. If not, I'm going to challenge Daniel, who's meant to be studying this stuff. Yeah, if he's still listening. Any thumbs up? Davey, let's go. There we go, Dave.
Hello, Vinny.
Hi, mate. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad.
You've got on non-view. Hold on. Don't touch anything, Dave.
Sorry, I was flipping my screen. Sorry.
Go on.
Yeah, Vinny, this is something a little bit different, but I think it's worth asking. So I've got an 11-year-old daughter, and she's a bit of a worrier. And I'll give you an example. We was talking with her the other day about getting a dog, which we've been talking to her about for a while.
Right.
And we found her in a room a little bit later, and she was upset and she was worrying because she was saying things like, "Oh, maybe someone will take it, or maybe if my friends come round, they won't want to play with me. They want to play with a dog." And so, obviously, what I want to do is I want to try and manage out them little thought processes where she's focuses on negative situations that haven't happened. Obviously she's only young, and I don't want her to grow into bigger insecurities. So you spoke a lot about how we sort of handle similar things. So have you got any advice about how you would approach managing that with like younger children?
Of course, sir. The thing is, it's a learned behaviour. So she's either overheard something that you might have said off the cuff, or she might have been around someone that says that. There's been a row, you might be a worry a little bit, or your wife might be a worry a little bit. Children don't come with manuals. They don't come with this book and say, "Yeah, right, you've had a kid, have you? Right, there you go. There's the manual. Have a look through it. Page 35. Dog and being upset." No, it doesn't. They don't come with manuals, and we don't. And what children do, they download information. So from the age of 0 to 8, obviously for the 1 to 7, they download information. So they video everything because they can't communicate. They can't speak properly. They can't put sentences together, etc. And they're learning all the basic stuff. So what they'll do is they'll download information. What she may have done, she may have downloaded information either from you. It certainly wasn't in purpose. Come from a place of love, because that's why you told me, because it's a place of love. She might have seen it on TV. She might have read it at school. She might have picked it up somewhere. The way to undo things like that is metaphors. So she looks at you, because remember, you're a superhero to her. You know everything. You can make food. You can drive a car. You can take us on holiday on a plane. You can fix things when she's crying in the middle of the night. You bounce in like you're almost a superhero with your cape on. You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, if you wear a cape at night, whatever floats your boat, what does your wife do?
Sometimes.
Okay, good. So you've got to say, you know what? I used to be like that. And she'll go, what? And say, I used to worry like that. Yeah, I used to do exactly the same thing. And then say to her, what do you think? I get like that sometimes. What do you think I should do? And then her wonderful, beautiful, unconscious mind will go, well, Dad, we should do this, this, and this. And you'll go, you're right. You're absolutely right. I feel so smart. And that's it. Because they know their own answers. they'll give you their answers. And once they see that they're on a level with you, not a level, of course, but then they see you on a level that you're like, wow, I didn't think of that. You're smart. They'll go. And then things change. So every time you say, I was like that. Because if they think that they're alone in it, you go, don't be so stupid. All I got, mate, because I was back from, I come back from a council estate where everything was like, don't be so stupid. Oh, don't be so dumb. Don't talk rubbish. You know, all right, okay, good. You know, that works. Oh, yeah, I'm talking rubbish. I feel great now, tough. You know what I mean? Just reiterate it back to it. Just say, well, you know what? Yeah, what do you think we should do? And if you went to your friend's house, would you just play with the dog and ignore your friend? No. Okay, good. That's all. Because then they'll go, well, yeah. Because they have this little idea, you see, this little story of what's this, like this. Oh, this is going to happen and blah, 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 and never going to blah, blah, blah. And then she'll be wondering, and if I get a dog, it'll be really nice. But then it'll launch, you understand? So all you do, put yourself in their shoes, ask them what they'd do if they were you, and they'll come up with the answer, and you go, you're clever. Think of that.
Yeah.
Works a charm.
Yeah, that's good advice. That's clever, twisting it around. I mean, I do try to normalise it. I do tell her that I worry. I don't try to make it a big deal. But I'm torn a lot of the time. I don't want to overemphasise things with her, but I do want to talk to her about it and sort of.
You've got to remember, if there was an argument in a room, right? You went down to your mate's house, and he's arguing with his wife or whatever, his girlfriend or whatever, ever, right? Two people arguing. And you walked into the room, you immediately know there's an argument gone on. Even though they're not saying it, even though you didn't hear it, you know. Because 55% of communication is non-verbal, right? So we pick things up. So you've got to really exaggerate, half pantomime your stuff to her. So her unconscious mind sees it and you go, wow, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that? You're smart. You've got it up here. You understand?
Yeah.
So then she'll go. And then you're building that confidence. You know, you're building that, because remember, you're Superman to her. So when Superman comes to for a problem and asks the princess, she can go, oh, my dad asked me that once and I told him how it is. Because when they're teenagers, they'll be telling you how they know everything anyway.
Well, yeah, I've got a couple of them as well. So that's
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's good.
Thank you, Vinny. Cheers, mate.
Bless you, brother. No problem.
Right. Is that Kate? Have you got your thumb up there? Or are you just walking? Oh, she's taking it off now. Have you got a question, Kate?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on then, Katie.
Hiya.
I like your coat.
Thanks. I'm actually a bit hot in it now.
Is
I'm
it
walking
cold
around for the last
Where are you, Kate?
in Lambeth.
Oh, okay. The Lambeth what?
South of the river, it's always cold.
How do you know that?
We got braces. Ooh, of course, because I'm old.
Yeah, literally right by Lambeth Walk.
Oh, right, nice.
So yeah, I think my question is, I went through a really difficult year last year, and say a lot of sort of the repairing and getting better was kind of trying to focus on that mental resilience and coming to terms with something that kind of feels like out of your control, right? And getting back into control,
right?
And I definitely came out of that a much stronger person. Right. And things like the Warrior program has been amazing for kind of rebuilding confidence, learning a new skill, being disciplined, all the things that you've said.
Yep.
And part of that sort of difficulty last year, it's a bit of a personal one, but like I've been dealing with a kind of crazy ex-boyfriend who's been harassing and stalking me. Right. And it went silent for like last I'd heard from him was July, and then this year he's just sort of jumped back in again with like sending, he was sending letters to my home and turning up and all the rest of it. And he sent something 2 weeks ago. And the thing I'm finding really difficult is my mind is really strong, right? My mind is like, I'm not intimidated by this guy. He doesn't threaten me. He doesn't concern me. But my body seems disconnected from my mind. So I've been having sort of like anxiety attacks, like panic attacks, insomnia, all the rest of it, even though my mind can rationalize to myself that there's nothing to like I should not be concerned about it, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
my question is around, how do you get your body back into sync with your mind so that your body doesn't start doing things like tightening your chest, you know, physical things like tightening your chest,
yeah,
making you feel anxious, making you,
yeah,
you know, not able to sleep, etc.
yeah.
When your mind seemingly is very strong and kind of well put together through it all, you know?
Well, your body doesn't react without your mind. So your mind is reacting first. Your body can't knee-jerk react. It can't. It doesn't. So especially with worrying and being in an anxious situation. I'm sorry that you had to meet a disgruntled ex or not a nice ex, but that's the trouble is I think we have to go through that, all of us, to not to the extreme that you have, but I think it's, you know, a lot of us have to go through some disgruntled ex and not favourable person in life. I just think that, you know, anxiety is your unconscious mind's message to focus on what you don't, focus on what you want, and you're focusing on what you don't want. So in these times of what's going on, you know, the chances of the chances of anything happening with him, or it's a very, very, very broad question. Not a broad question. It's a very personal question. That I'll tell you what I'll do, because we're going to be short of time. Cliff will give you my number. Yeah. Cliff will give you my number, and you can talk to me at a one-to-one basis. Yeah. I'll give you a session for free. Okay.
That's really kind. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
No problem. Look, at the end of the day, if you can help people out, I will. But yeah, just let me know if you want to get my number off for Cliff, and we'll talk about it instead of, because it is a quite a deep situation. Yeah.
You're an angel, Vinny.
I think. Yeah, thank you so much, Vinny.
No problem.
No, I think my broader question, obviously that comes from a personal thing, but the broader question, if it kind of helped out anyone else, was like connecting that mind and body. But I think you've answered that. So yeah, thanks.
Mind always first. The mind always first. The body will follow. The mind's always first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got. I know you're running out of time, Vin.
I haven't. Not as long as good. Don't worry.
All right. That'll be your famous last words when we're here next week.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Well, I'm going to put Daniel on the spot now. Is he smiling? All right. So Daniel is a pro MMA fighter, or he's going to be turning pro soon, and he's also studying neural linguistics programming. Is that right? And he was very interested in talking to you. So
hey, mate.
Dan, that's what questions.
Hi, Vinny. How you doing?
Okay. Good, man.
Very good, very good. Long time listener and fan of your work.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
To NLP.
Oh, okay.
And the idea was to help myself develop, as well as any other athletes or people that I work with.
Exactly how I started that, mate. Exactly the same.
Oh, perfect. And I've noticed there's a lot of similarities between like athletes and like performers, such as like actors and dancers and those sort of people. So I do have like a two-part question. I wonder if you can help me. I've kind of touched on a little bit earlier. So my girlfriend is actually an actress, and she has the technical ability to sing, but when it comes to the actual audition to get the job, she kind of freezes and is then unable to technically perform how she can do in a more private setting. So we've just been trying to go over some things of that, but I was wondering if you can help shed some light.
It all depends on what she sees, and you'll find out when you work with, if you want to work with clients, you'll find out that the job is so eclectic.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways why people think the way they think, and that's why no clients ever the same. Everyone says, "What's the number one thing people worry about?" This isn't, because there's so many different things.
Yeah.
It's all about. There's if you look at Hakalau, which is the learning state.
Okay.
I don't know whether you've experienced that yet. But if you have a look at, if you put Vinny Shoreman Hakalau, which is Hakalau, it's a learning state that you can get into where nerves don't become really a problem. Okay, so they don't rehearse success.
Mm-hmm.
People rehearse failure because everything that anxiety brings is failure. Anxiety is not fun, is it? Well, no one rehearses success. We're all brilliant at rehearsing failure. That's probably the human nature as well, because it takes danger out of the way. You have to be smart and worry about your own survival, etc. It's a reptilian brain. But she has to rehearse success.
Right.
And at the minute, she's rehearsing failure. So she can sing. I'm sure she can sing brilliantly. But it's just about now getting in that learning state and just convincing herself that everything will work. So, for instance, listen, and once I start, I'm started. So I ain't gonna start.
Don't worry, go for it.
Okay. Tell her to, what's your girlfriend's name?
Emma.
Emma. Tell Emma to imagine herself 15 minutes after she sang the best possible way she could ever sing. Whatever song she sings, yeah? Imagine 15 minutes after seeing herself happy, really proud, beaming with energy, whatever energy she has, 15 minutes after, and constantly picture that in her mind.
Right.
15 minutes after. And anyone else that wants to do that, you can picture yourself 15 minutes after the best training session, 15 minutes after your fight. Good luck with all that, you know? And 15 minutes after you've succeeded. Because what that does is it takes the worry out of it because you've already won. You've already done it.
Right.
The other bits are just, well, oh, yeah.
Well, it's interesting you talk about the failure aspect, because then, so in studying sports psychology, which I got my degree in, there's something which I found personally helpful, which was what if scenarios. So things that were bringing me anxiety or fear or worry about the fight, for example, like being, held down or just taken down. Then I would just drill that again and again, like pick the best training partners and then just go over that and then try and get that success in my head, that confidence that I can deal with the situation.
The technique itself doesn't work.
Yeah.
The technique doesn't work. You know what the technique, what works? The drilling.
Yeah.
If you go, that works, that's what it's right, I'm going to use that, and you drill it, it'll work. So the technique itself doesn't work. The person drilling it, yes, I get it.
Right, okay, yeah.
So what
just
she's
working
got
on your weaknesses, essentially.
Of course it is. We've all got weaknesses. Even Superman had kryptonite, didn't he? You know what I mean? So it's just about you. It's just about her. Right, okay, I get that. I get you nervous, right? That's part of, I get it. Oh, God, right, yeah. What do you want then? So like I said earlier, well, what do you want? And then people go, oh, whoa. I want to be good at singing. You're acting like you want to do it. Yeah, of course I want to do it. And then you go, all right, then good. So imagine yourself, what would it be like 15 minutes after? So imagine picturing yourself, and you have to constantly do it. It's all about, as you know, drilling.
Yeah.
Drilling.
Perfect. Beautiful.
It's all about drilling, brother.
And then the second question I had, well, just kind of more of a mindset. So one of my favorite books is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I think it's a great book I kind of realized how dependent I was at a certain stage of my life, and then, going through dependency to independence, interdependence. And I think maybe I've been independent for a little bit too long now in a good way. But now I feel like I'm kind of struggling moving into that interdependent role a bit more. So just in the sense of with relationships with my partner, even with the gym, like being kind of, I need the gym for my success, but then even just that language as far as like, I need the gym.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like and it's like, how then can you switch that?
Well, listen to what you just said is, I need the gym for my success. Needs and away from. So need is not really it's quite a destructive word. It's weird. Yeah. It's a destructive word. The gym is part of your tools to get success. So it's diet. So it's not getting drunk every day. The gym is part of your well, it's a big part of it. Yeah. But I need the gym. It sounds like that. There's a negative connotation even in the language itself. If you listen to what you just said, so you tweak your language. People think I'm a mind reader, and I'm not at all. But people say stuff, and they say it, and then I just say it back to them, and they go, "Well, just repeating what you said." So cut out the need and put. It's part of. It's part of your. Yeah, it's part of your makeup as to where you want to get to.
So then, when we extrapolate that, then it's just changing the language from I need to be in a good relationship with my partner to doing these maybe types of activities or having these kind of conversations.
Well, how does it become so robotic though? I mean, listen to what you're saying. I need to have a really good relationship with my partner. Really? How do you overthink that? Right, I need to. Right, so let's make it a wonderful relationship. How? You love her, she loves you, right? You're gonna have faults, she's gonna have faults. You're gonna have ups and downs, right? But not. I need to be, because then you're putting pressure on something and making it. It's not. What's the word? It's not organic.
Yeah.
It's not organic. That's just, like, you need to be, come on, darling, we have a wonderful relationship. Oh, marvelous. I'm telling you. Don't know where that
Same
voice
thing
comes
with your
from.
coaches, though. Well, I mean, it is relationships as far as, partner, coaches, the gym, work. It's like, in order to be cohesive as well.
You know what your problem is?
Go ahead.
You overthink.
Yes.
You overthink. You overthink and you analyze. You go, yes. Oh, this is so. Oh, yes. This is round. No. Don't overthink it. Talent's talent. It's your unconscious mind. It's talent. It's skill. You're a nice man. You're going to do well. I have got no doubts about it.
Thank you, brother.
No problem at all. Do not overthink it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do something, go and do it. Simple. And if you have a relationship, let it be. If it's something you've got to tweak, if you're being a bit of an idiot, fine. If she's being a bit of an idiot, then just accept it because it's easier. Become submissive. No, look, you're overthinking it.
Yeah.
Just do your best all the time.
This is becoming like relationship hour lately. I think with
like
you,
I said,
Katie.
it's not just that. It's the gym as well.
Oh, give me a headache. Yeah.
But even with your coaches, like like there's some amazing coaches at the gym, some of the best in the world, I believe, and it's like they're so integral to your success that how then do you exactly try to avoid that trap? It's like, oh, I need Jamie, I need Tom, I need Luca, I need Sean. Like, rather than I need them, it's like we're all part of that unit.
Well, you've just said it.
Yeah.
You're all
just
part
focusing
of
more on that.
It's a collective. It's a collective, and we're going to do it, and we're all going to do it together. We like Conor McGregor says, "Island, we all fight together."
Yeah.
That's all you do. You fight as a team.
Your coaches are useless, Dan, without the students, right? You might need Jamie, you might need Tom, but we all need you guys as well, or we'll be sitting on our hands doing this all day long, right?
Exactly. So it's
we're all part of each other's toolkit.
It's a kind of form of putting yourself down in some ways. Don't do that. Do it as a team. Do it together and reach. Look, you might as well shoot to the moon, because if you hit the stars, it's pretty good, isn't it? I know it's a cliche thing, but we're not here forever. So just do what you have to do to get where you want to get to, man.
Amazing.
All right, Dylan, I'm going to ask you to ask a question next, but no girlfriends, no mothers.
Fine.
It's all good. All right, I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead.
Good, yeah?
Yeah, all good. Go on.
Okay, so what I was going to say is, do you generally think you can change someone? And if so, how would you best go about it?
Can you genuinely or generally?
Genuinely, or can you genuinely?
Genuinely.
Well, can I genuinely change someone? No, is the answer. Can they listen to the advice and change themselves? Yes. It's a do with process, not a do to. So I can't go, right, sleep, and when you wake up, you will be giving me all your money, and I'm a very happy man. No. If you want to genuinely change someone, they've got to want to genuinely change. And that's what I said at the beginning. You have to excuse me, my dog's got a cough. Stop. And that's what I said about cognitive dissonance. If someone has a core belief that they are keep standing and they will defend that this is not them, they will never be that. That's up to them. But can I genuinely explain? Is it you're trying to change or somebody else?
It's a bit personal. It's mostly to do with my family, yeah? Obviously, my mom.
I knew it.
Sorry. But let's just say my dad. My dad is, I wouldn't say, more like clinically depressed. Very sleepwalks through life, you know?
Yeah.
And one thing he really enjoys is golf. He likes golf. He likes playing golf. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, you should do golf mobility, 20 minutes a day. It will help him a lot. It will help him with the golf. It will help him with his mental state. But then I'm trying to make him do it.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to do that. I don't know. Okay. It's the perfect example. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him do it.
But when you say that you're trying to make him do it, who are you doing it for?
I'm not gonna lie. It's obviously probably to do with me in my psyche.
Good. Then right. So if you're doing it for you, then it's not really going to work, is it? Because if I understand that you love him and I understand that you want that, but remember cognitive dissonance. These people thought that aliens were going to come down and pick them up. Of course they weren't. Of course they weren't. But then they'll defend it by going, well, no, actually they've made a friend with God or whatever. People, if they want to believe that, what's your name again?
Oh, Dylan.
Dylan. Hi, Dylan. If people have that, Dylan, allow them to. I'd rather be happy than right. So if your dad loves golf, support his golf.
No, but he's not happy though. That's the problem.
Sorry?
He's not happy.
It's a very difficult one because I don't know him. You know, it's sort of. But if golf is his thing, support his golf. But if he's saying you need to do more mobility thing, you may be not only from a place of love. You may be entrenching on what he likes just for him. Remember, he's your dad, so he's like, what are you telling me about golf? Do you play golf?
Me personally, no. I've heard it too much. I don't really like it too much.
Well, then just allow him to be who he is. Support him, show him love, show him respect, and if he wants to do that, that's okay.
So how do you stop negative self-talk in people you care about, like your families and friends? And I'm not going to say I'm doing this out of my own interest, because I say wholeheartedly I'm doing it out of them. How would you stop that negative self-talk?
From them? From
what they're saying about themselves. You know,
that is how they are. It's up to them. Again, there's so much choice in the world. I know I can see you're frustrated. I get it. I get that, because you don't want that. You don't want that. I understand that, but it's like you've also got to learn to accept that that's what they want to do. You know, some people honestly support Manchester City. Now, that's not what I want. Do you understand? But it's allowing yourself not to get involved in. That's okay. You'll find. I tell you what, you'll find. You'll find that if you don't get frustrated by their negative talk, you'll find that their negative talk isn't that negative. Because what you're doing is this. There's my sister. I don't know what your sister's called. Just say you got a sister, right? Not maybe got a sister or not. And then you'll go, oh yeah, they always say negative talk. So say one thing, they'll go, there's negative talk. I knew that was negative talk. Knew that negative talk. Knew they'd say that, and then blah 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 blah. And you're waiting all the time. So you're kind of like a sniper. You're waiting for to see a movement, and then right, because now you're training your mind to look at their negative talk. It's okay. If they want to do that, it's absolutely fine. It's okay. Because they may like that. They might enjoy it. That might be in their psyche, but you're looking for it, and when you look, your whole shift to change. Then there is a whole shift in you, because you just actually smile, which I think is a rarity at the minute, right? I'm joking, but it's like, you know, it's you're waiting for it. You're waiting for it.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, you're trying to say.
Indeed. You know, you're smart. You're a smart guy, so it's up to them, and you're looking for it. So you wait for it and go, right, there's something being negative. You know, and then you're doing cognitive dissonance then, because you're defending that they're negative. That's all they do. That's not all they do. You know how many times have you heard this? I've told you 1,000,000 times. No one's told anyone 1,000,000 times. Do you understand?
I understand.
So you remember that that's them, but don't defend your belief of what you think they are. Do you get me?
Okay, I understand.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. So one thing, how would you know, what you're saying, what you've done with Liam Harrison, the Hakalau, it's more or less the flow state, no? Like same thing.
Yes, it is.
How would you best instigate that, a solo practitioner trying to get into Hakalau or flow state before a fight or before an important business meeting? How would you best instigate? Did the peripheral vision that you're talking about?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's sort of
practice.
Exercise?
It's practice. Everything's like my man just said, drilling. You drill it. But you got to pay attention to when you speak to your family. Pay attention to what you actually go, and pay attention when you get that little, doing it again. Pay attention and go, that's interesting. Because once you start changing out what you see, you'll see them differently.
Yeah. You have to be the change you want in the world, really and truly.
You are a very, very smart man.
Thank you.
And I'll come to you for when I get things going on. You're a smart guy. Use it.
Last thing, yeah.
Go on.
How would you deal with past trauma, and where does that originate from? Obviously, it's going to be individualistic depending on the person, but then do you look into yourself? How do you know how to rectify it?
You've got another 3 hours.
That's a very, very big question.
Broad,
everyone's got different traumas, different stories, different words, different chapters of their lives. I don't know. It depends on the trauma, depends on the person. It's a large question.
Have you got stuff on this on the Shoreman solution on the website? You've got some helpful stuff on there.
Yeah,
can you point us in the right still in the right direction for that stuff?
Yeah, the Shoreman solution is a series of videos, tips, and hypnotic downloads that deal with pretty much everything, really. I'm always adding more stuff to it, like you've just heard the black box thinking. And but I appreciate that question. Some of them are very big, large questions, but to answer it would have to be an individualistic thing.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for that, Dylan.
Thank you, Dylan.
All right. So I think Mr. Scott. Jamie, did you have one? All right. Let's unmute you then. Off you go, Jay.
Hello, Vinny.
Hiya, mate. You all right?
Yeah, nice speaking to you, mate.
Yes, you too, mate.
Top man. Listen, Vinny, I'm the jiu-jitsu coach down at Diesel Gym. And I'm pretty blessed. I've got a nice big team. I train some good high-level people. I've got a good team competing all the time. But sometimes I get people in the gym and they're absolute killers. And I motivate everyone all the time, and I do a good job. But you just get some people that when they compete, it's just something changes in them, and it's almost like you get the old saying where people they're trying their best not to lose, than rather trying to win. And it's just, have you any advice as a coach on how I can just sort of change that mindset? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. If Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man, isn't Spider-Man, so he wears the suit. He runs around, he shout Peter Parker, he'll turn around, or Spider-Man, he'll turn around, right? Some people want to be that, but the competition side is not for them. It's not for everyone, And some people can be changed because if they want to, then, it's hard to, because look, again, you're looked at as a hero to people. You're looked up as something they want to be. You're an archetype, which is an unconscious representation, or it's an energy. Some people want to be that, some people won't. That's okay. It's difficult when you're position. I train champions in Muay Thai, blah blah blah, and I had my gym. But some people have, some people haven't. But either way, it's okay. So it's down to your teaching is fantastic. That's not in question. Some can't do it. Some can. Some will push themselves through it and then look at them and thinking, why are you doing this to yourself? But at the end of the day, they'll do something, even if they get a bronze medal or their arm lifted up, that can be them forever. Other people are addicted to success. Liam's addicted to it takes a very special individual to do what you do to your level. So it's allowing them. You say, oh, well, you're still brilliant and blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of, it's jiu-jitsu and any martial art was brought upon, you may correct me anyway, was brought upon in times of war and in times of learning to, your game's bad because that means don't kill me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't break my arm. I'd be rubbish at jiu-jitsu. I'd be like tapping more times than Fred Astaire. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, it's not in everyone. It's just something where I do BJJ. I do BJJ. And yet, if it comes to it, they can go for years and years and years and never be competent in a real situation. You can get someone that's been doing it 2 weeks and be competent in a situation. It all depends on the individual. It's about allowing and saying, you know what, I see the talent in you. And if you can nurture that, brilliant. If you can't, then that's okay because they don't really want it anyway. You know?
It seems to be echoing, Vinny, that what you were saying to Dylan and to Jamie. It's just that you can't change people if they don't want to be changed, or if their will's not there, right? You can only be a catalyst for change, not force it on.
Yeah, it's cognitive dissonance, mate. It's just but if the trouble is, what happens is when you're a coach and you train people to a high level, and you've got, because you love and care for them, and I don't care what anyone says, if you're not a good coach if you don't love and care for them, and when they go in there and they fall to bits, you take it personally, it upsets you, it makes you feel
100%.
bad for you, feel bad for them. You also question yourself a little bit. Did I do it right? You know what? I'll be honest. That's why I got out of it. I was really successful coach, trained world champions, blah, 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 blah. I couldn't put up with the emotional, I couldn't put up with the losing. And I couldn't put up with the build up and everything. I'd done what I wanted to do, and I trained world champions, and then I thought, right, that's me, yeah. I had enough as I got into this mind stuff. But you kind of take it very personally. It's a very, very emotional roller coaster. And to be a coach, to be a successful coach, part of you've got to be able to disconnect from that. But part of you make you a great coach is you've got to connect to it. So it's a difficult one. Some people will, some people won't. But so what? That's the truth of it.
Yeah, you're right, Vinny. It is a tough one because, I do my job well, and I can get them to a certain point, a certain level. And they're in the gym, and, it's submitting everyone in the gym. But sometimes, like you say, you take it personal. You think, what am I doing? I must be doing something wrong. Motivation.
You know why? When you was talking about it, mate, when you was talking about it, you was talking about it emotionally. You're a very caring human being, regardless of how well you can strangle people. You're a good guy. You can tell. I can tell that by it. No, I can tell. You can tell good people, and you evidently want to get success for them, and it makes you feel good. But you'll have people that will, you'll have people that won't, you'll have people that can't and never will.
Yeah.
All right, guys, listen. I'm conscious that we're at 1:27. Last question: who's going to stick their hand up first? Any questions? Star, go on. You've been quiet all day. Nothing. Yeah, Star's got a question. All right, the last one for the day, Vin. Star's a Muay Thai instructor, so it's right up your street. Hold on, let me unmute you. Oh, it's not working. I've got fat fingers, Star. There we go.
Sorry, is it done?
Yeah, you're live now, Star.
How are you? Hello.
Very good. How are you?
Thanks for inviting me on this too today. Thanks, Cliff. Listen, some amazing stuff you've been saying today.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I've got so it is a question. It's just I guess any tips you have. So I work with young people. I'm just going to give a reference to someone who's in the early 20s. Obviously, with the lockdown, it's been a struggle for everyone. So we're doing online stuff and things. Now he actually has mental health issues. He's he's living alone, so he doesn't have even any family around. He hasn't got a lot of friends, so even down to just talking to a mate on the phone. His place, he used to come to train, and we were his family, basically. He'd get in there, all his stresses, he could, you guys doing combat sports, we know right now we miss punching, kicking, and I know you guys miss getting people in locks, we know that, and that's one thing. So we can get people to, okay, you can do your training, you can do this stuff at home, but for him, and he's he actually speaks with me. He's like, do you know what, Star? He's like, I'm really stressing out. He goes, I need to be around people. I need to hit something. I need to kick. And he's struggling. And for me, I'm like, because I find it a lot easier to talk to other students. Just the stuff we're talking about today that you were speaking of, you can say that to a lot of people and it sinks in but for this, I'm just kind of struggling how to deal with it the right way, not to say anything that's going to set him off, but he's just in a really down place, and he needs to get out there and physically do stuff. But as I said, he's got no mates. He's got no one that he can talk to and connect with.
You've also got to realise is that and they said, don't know why these weird things come. What's your name again?
Star.
Star. Woo.
Hello.
So, Star, you got, when you're saying that he's this, he's that, he's that, he's this, he's that, he's that, he's that. You told me all this stuff. That he's negative. You got to leave that. I get that. Sad, right? I get it. You got to leave it, and then say, yeah, but you've got to say to him, we're going to be out of it, 100%, and it's down to you now. What you do that will make you the star that you the person that you the person that you want to be. You understand? you're already going loaded with this. Oh God, this is awful for you, and this, and then what you're doing is you echo it back. You're not doing it verbally.
Oh yeah, not verbally, yes, but I know what you mean. I'm now, yeah.
But tonality,
Yeah.
tonality, yeah, no. I mean, I remember there used to be what was her name? There used to be a counsellor on This Morning called Denise Walsh. And you used to go, I do, and I know how you feel, and this is absolutely terrible. How could you make people feel any better? First of all, turn up your vibrance. She said, you know what, I get it. Say, mate, I know. Oh, God, I know. But listen, watch Liam Harrison. Watch Sanchai. Have you seen that? This is going to change. Look, it's coming. Look, it's round the corner. I get it. But this is what makes you a warrior. This is what makes... Are you a warrior or a warrior? Right, I get it. I know. It's rubbish. I get you. But then say, but this. Yeah, I know. I get it. But yes, yeah, blah, blah. Don't go in with this. Is this, which I do feel sorry for him. But if I felt sorry for everyone in my business that I run, I'd be like, and be, oh, God, it's awful. You understand what I mean? Because I hear some horrible things. But like going, oh, yeah, right, I get it. I've got to bypass that. Oh, it is awful. I'll deal with it in some other way. But you got to say to him, listen, I hear you. But you can ring me anytime. So I'm here for you. That's all you've got to know. How many people, listen, there's people in the world that haven't got me to talk to, and I ain't got you. I've got you. So when I'm down, just ring him. So you know what? I'm really pissed off today. Have you got any advice? And he go, I don't know. I said, yeah, well, I know you don't know, but what would you think I should do? He'll go, blah, blah, blah. Same with the kid. Same with the kid that said the daughter of that man. Same thing. He'll come up with his own answers. We're all intrinsically geniuses, yeah? But it's like bringing that out. So don't ring him thinking, it's weird. If you ring someone for a no, you'll get a no. It's like sales. If you ring for someone for no, you'll get a no. But you change the vibrancy in your voice, and you're a vibrant lady anyway, I must admit, then just go, right, listen, yeah, I know what you mean, but listen, anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know. Oh, it's terrible. But anyway, all depends on the severity of his mental illness. I don't know. Of course, I don't know. But I just lift your vibrancy up. Because you're vibrant. So do it. Don't go down the road of, oh, God, blah, blah.
Yeah, the tone. Yeah.
One of the things I do when I go to a seminar, when I do seminars, is the worst thing you can say in the gym is, oh, how are you? Tired. Worst thing. Mexican wave of tiredness, and everyone goes, and then it becomes a competition. Who's the most tired, or who's had the hardest day at work? You understand?
Yeah.
So go in with that. Go in with a fresh mindset of saying, right, it's nearly over. This I've heard it's going to be over soon. I don't know when, but it's going to be over. So I know every day, but every day it's closer. You've got to use all the cliches that go on in the world to say that this will be finally over. Even you already, your vibrancy's changed just by listening, correct?
No, because I'm just imagining myself now, the next conversation, doing that. That's why.
Well, exactly. And that's what it's all about. It's imagination. It's all about imagination. It's all about everything. Because we're all imagining the future anyway.
Yeah.
We can semi-imagine the past because memory's not that really reliable. But if you imagine saying, right, okay, imagine saying, right, I'm going to do this and have the best conversation with him ever.
Yeah, no.
You can only do what you do. That's all.
Yeah. You know, I don't know who the quote's by, but there's one thing I love thinking, it says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yeah, that's me.
Is that you, Vinny? Is it you?
I invented that, yeah. I invented everything that you've heard. It's amazing. It's mine. Go in with that vibrancy that you're sharing with me now, and you'll see exponential changes, okay?
No, thanks
Superb.
a lot, Vinny. Thanks.
No problem.
Cheers. Thank you.
All right, I think we're going to call it a day there unless there's any urgent questions.
Can ask me while I'm on fire at the minute.
Oh, look at that. Arnis is there. I knew he wouldn't let it go. All right, dog with a bone. Come on in, Arnis. Let's go for it.
Hey, Vinny again. So
hey, man, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Basically, a follow-up from Jamie's question about, people doing really well in the gym and then struggling in competitions. So, sort of, when would you talk with that person after the fight and say, like, how did you feel? Did you enjoy it? Did you didn't enjoy it? Do you want to do another one? Like how would you come to a conclusion?
Start again, mate, because you broke up. Say it again.
Okay, so just a follow up from Jamie's question. As you said, like some people do really well in the gym, and then at the competitions they struggle.
Right.
So how would you? And you said because it's not for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So how would you come to a conclusion that okay, it's not for you? Would you talk with them after the fight and say, did you enjoy it? Did you didn't enjoy it?
No. They come up to the conclusion. They do.
Mm-hmm.
They come to the conclusion, not you. You know, if they go in there and they don't perform, if they say, I didn't perform, but I really want to do it again, then you've got a link there. You go, okay, I hear that. Right, okay, that's something to work with. If they say, oh, you know, I could have done this and I could have done that, but what it is, and then they reluctant in the next. It's a very, you have to have, it's experience that, my friend. It's just experience of being a coach, yeah? Some people aren't meant to do it. I fought 8 times, I won 7, something like that, whatever, a million years ago. It wasn't for me, you know? But I trained world champions, but it wasn't for me. You understand? So, but I'm honest with myself, right? Because I'm of an age where you get to be really, well, life to make you honest. And if it's for some others, I think if they said they want to do it again and they really enjoyed it and they can do better, then there's something to work on. But you'll know who wants to do it again and who doesn't. It's all about, look, even if they aren't being going into competitions, that's not the be all and end all of life anyway. You know, it's not everything. You know, just being good at a fight and well done, and if you want to do it as a career, fantastic. But it's like, you know, it's not a life-ending thing, the loss of a fight anyway. But I mean, well, it can be dangerous. But it's just about you having a look at them. You'll know the person. You'll know anyway. You're a smart guy. Anyone that's the coach will know who should do it and who can and who can't do it, you know?
I would say, just from my experience, and I'm butting in here, honestly, it does come from experience. And I think you'll find there's a lot of fighters or people that go for their first fight. They don't enjoy the fight, but they want to do that. They see it as another challenge. It's not the experience. They want to achieve that challenge, but they didn't actually enjoy the experience. And I think sometimes they persist because I didn't really do well in that one. I'm going to do it again because I wasn't happy that I achieved that challenge. But it's not the actual fighting process. And I think sometimes as a coach, it's your job to say, get them, talk them through it, but you've got to pull them out. If they're not enjoying it, you know, sometimes you have to withdraw the support.
The thing is, success is a rarity because everyone won't want to do it.
Yeah.
Success is a rarity because everyone's not successful in the areas that the grandioso scheme of things, because not everyone will do it. You know, not everyone will do it. And just an example of Liam was telling me a story where he was in Thailand and he was training with Rajasak, and everyone else was eating and everyone had finished training, and Rajasak was just trying to kill him. And he had he's seen everyone eating and a single tear run down his face. This is the things that people don't see. I've known him a long time. This is what people don't see. It's the arduous, horrific, and your mind will ask you questions. Your mind will go, do you want this? Because if you want it, you're going to have to cry for it. If you want it, you're going to have to bleed for it. And if you're going to bleed for it and cry for it, you're going to have to be pushed and you nearly die for it. Then you prove it. It's not for everybody, but it's for everyone to enjoy because it keeps them happy, healthy, and fit and strong. So and self-defense. So yeah, you know, the broad spectrum. Yes, will everyone be a champion? Certainly not.
All right, guys. No more thumbs up. Have we got any? All right. So I am now going to unmute you all, and we're going to give Vinny the biggest fucking round of applause known to man. I want to go bright red. Right? Come on. Thanks, Vin. For a diamond.
Thank you so much.
Vinny, tell us a little bit about the Shoreman solution. What's on there for people to go there if they want to follow up?
Thank you. I'm surprised, Robert. So when you first started on this call, did you think, oh, it's Louis Walsh? Walsh's hair fell out. The Shoreman, all right, start back it in. Shoreman Solution is a series of tips and videos that you can get into. If anyone wants to get hold of me, you can get me on the VinnyShoreman.com. If you want to get hold of me on there, if you want to work with me, VinnyShoreman.com.
Perfect. All right, guys. Vinny, I love you to bits. Thank you so much. I think everyone's benefited from this. Look, we've been here nearly 2 hours and they're all sitting here riveted. So you've done a fantastic job.
Thank you, sir.
People have learned, I think.
Much love, yeah.
Experience. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. We're going to call it a day there. Thank you all.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye, mate. Bye-bye. Make sure you sing, you missus. Make sure you sing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Emma, yeah. Give us a note now.
Yeah, sing now.
Come on, we're all listening. It's an audition.
Yay!
Come on, everyone, a round of applause.
Go on, let me hear you sing.
Oh, Daniel's in the doghouse now. All right. All right. Good night, all. Take care.
Bye. Bye. Bye.